Amitofo students, hello, welcome to the channels. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about how to making a bouncing ball games with Scratch, like this one. Okay, if you want to know how to make these games, let's watch the video until the end. Okay, first of all, let's just remove this sprite from the stage and from the sprite pane. We click on this icon to remove the sprite. Finish. Okay, so the next steps, we will choose the backdrops. I will choose from the library to choose the backdrop. Let's click on the choose a backdrops icon. For the backgrounds, I will pick the galaxy as the background, like this one. And then for the sprite, I'm gonna choose the ball as the first sprite. I'm gonna choose the sprite from the library. We will click on this one and choose a sprite. Okay, now let's find a ball sprite. This one. Click on this ball sprite. Okay, finish. So the next step is to make the ball moving and bouncing forever whenever it touches the edge. Let's go to the events block. Click on the events block and click on this one. When the green flag click, we will make the ball move and bouncing forever. That means we need to go to the control blocks and we will choose the forever blocks and place it beneath when the green flag click, like this one. And to make the ball moving, we need to go to the motion blocks and choose the move 10 steps block and place it inside the forever blocks. So when I click the green flag, the ball will move. And as you can see, the ball didn't bounce. We need to make the ball bounce whenever it touches the edge. We need to go to the motion blocks and we will choose this block. If on edge bounce, we will place it below the move 10 steps. See? So when the ball hits the edge, it will bounce. And we actually don't want to ball bouncing in the same position. That means we need to change or setting the position of the ball. Okay, but first let me stop the script. Okay, let's setting the beginning position of the ball. We will need to set where the ball will place whenever the green flag click. I'm gonna set the position of the ball right here whenever the green flag click. That means we need to go to the motion block. When the green flag click, I will make the ball to set on this position. That means we need the go to X blocks and place it beneath when the green flag click. And to make the ball bouncing all over the place, we need to setting the direction of the ball. I will choose the point in direction and place it below the go to X blocks and change the direction from 90 to 45 and see what happens if I click the green flag. See, the ball will bouncing all over the place. And the next step is I'm going to add the pedal as the second sprite. I will choose the pedal from the library. Let's click on these icons and choose the pedal sprite. Scroll down until you see the P alphabet. Pedal, where is pedal? This one. Click on this pedal sprite. Okay, same as the ball sprite, we need to set the beginning position of the pedal when the green flag click. I will set the position of the pedal right here when the green flag click. See, the X and the Y position. So we need to go to the events block. When the green flag click, set the position of the pedal to this position. Finish. And then I'm going to let myself to control the pedal. We need to go to the events block and we will choose these blocks when space key pressed. We click on this block and we will change the space key to the right arrow key. So whenever I press right arrow key, what will happen to the pedal? It will move to the right for a certain steps. We need to go to the motion block and then we choose the move 10 steps block and place it below the when right arrow key press. And then change the steps from 10 to 50. So whenever I press the right arrow key, the pedal will move to the right. The next steps is to make the pedal move to the left. We need to go back again to the events block and use this block again. We will change the space key to the left arrow. And then we going back again to the motion block. We will use this block again. And change the steps from 10 to -50 to move the pedal to the left. So whenever I click the left key, the pedal will move to the left. Whenever I press the right arrow, the pedal will move to the right, like this one. Done. The next step is to make the ball bouncing whenever it touches the pedal. That means we need to go back to the ball sprite. And to do that, we need to go to the control block and we will use the if block. We click on the if block and place it right here. If the ball touching the pedal, that means we need to go to the sensing block. We will choose the block at the very top, touching mouse pointer, and place it right here. And we will change the mouse pointer to the pedal. Okay, what will happen if the ball touching the pedal? I am going to make the ball turning to the opposite direction. That means I am going to go back to the motion block and choose the turn right for 15 degrees. And let's see what happened. This is what happened. As you can see, when the ball touching the pedal, it bouncing, but it seems like strange and weird because it's not the opposite direction. And to fix the direction, we need to go to the operator blocks, and then I will choose the pick random 1 to 10, click and drag this block and put it inside the turn right for 15 degrees and change the number for 170 to 180 degrees. So this is what will happen. Whenever the ball touching the pedal, it will turn back to the opposite direction. See, like that. In making games, we need to make the games more challenging by adding some obstacles. And what I'm going to do is to add the ground as the obstacles of the ball. So I'm gonna make whenever the ball hits the ground, the games will stops and it will says game over. And to do that, we need to go to the backdrop, click on this backdrop and go to the backdrop tab, click on this one. See, we have two backdrops, backdrop 1 and backdrop 2 is the galaxy. We can remove this backdrop 1 and then I am going to set the ground. I will use this rectangle tool to make the ground. Click on this one and I will change the fill to red. We will increase the saturation to 100 and then I will draw the ground like this one. I will make it a little bit further from the pedal. Move it down. Okay, this one is enough. So this is the game backdrop. That means we need to change the name of the backdrop. we need to change the name to game backdrop. The next step is to make the game over backdrop. That means we need to duplicate this game backdrop. We going to right click this backdrop and we choose duplicate like this one. Okay, we will change the name to game over backdrop. Game over backdrop. And then I am going to make the game over text. But before that, I'm going to make the background for the text. I will choose the rectangle tools to make the background of the text and use it right here. Okay, like this one. The size of the background to this one. Okay, place it at the center of the stage like this one, and then we will make the text. Click on this text icon. I will choose the pixel as the font style, and I will choose the color to white. Okay, we reduce the saturation to 0, the color to 0, and let the brightness to 100. Okay, and then we click on this backdrop and type game over. Okay, you can click and then you can increase the size of the text and place it at the center of the stage like this one. So we already have the game backdrop and the game over backdrop. We will go back to the game backdrop and we will go back to the code. And the next step is to set the backdrop to the game backdrop whenever the green flag click. That means we need to go to the events block, and when the green flag click, we will switch the backdrop to the game backdrop. That means we need to go to the looks block. When the green flag click, switch the backdrop to the game backdrop. And then I'm gonna make whenever the game backdrop switch to the game over backdrop, the game will stops. The movement of the ball will stops. So we need to go to the events block and we will choose these blocks. When the backdrop switches to game over backdrop, we will click on this block and bring it inside the code area. We will change the game backdrop to game over backdrop. And then we will stop all the progress or all the movements. We need to go to the control blocks and scroll down. We will use this stop all blocks. Click on this one, drag it below and place it below the when backdrop switch to the game over backdrop. So when the green flag click, the backdrop will switch to the game backdrop. And whenever the backdrop switch to the game over backdrop, it will stop all. And the next step is to make the game is over whenever the ball touching the ground or the red color of the ground. That means we need to go to the sprite ball again. Okay, first let me stop this project. To make the games over whenever the ball touching the ground, we need the if blocks again. Okay, so then we need to go to the control block. We will use the if blocks and place it right here. And then we go to the sensing block. And then I will choose the touching color question mark. Click on this one, drag this block inside this one. Okay, so if touching color question mark, we will change the color. We click on this color and we will pick the color. Click on these icons. We will pick the ground color of the stage, this one. So if touching the ground color, we will make the backdrop switches to the game over backdrop. That means we need to go to the looks block. If the ball touching the ground, it will switch backdrop to the game over backdrop like this one. Let's see what happens if I click the green flag. Whoa, something's wrong with the paddle. When I click the green flag, something's wrong with the paddle. I will click on this pedal. Oh, the Y position isn't correct. I will set this like this one. Minus 124. Okay, sorry for the mess. 24. Okay, so when I click the green flag, I'll set up, and when the ball touches the ground, the game will stop and it will say game over, like this one. When I click the green flag again, the game will start, like this one. Okay, done. And to make the game more interesting to play, we need to add some objective. And to do that, I will need another sprite. I will pick the sprite from the library. I will choose a sprite and I will pick a star sprite as the third sprite. Okay, we will pick a star sprite. This one. Okay, choose this star sprite. Okay, let's change the backdrop to the game backdrop. This one. Same thing as we did before. We need to set the position of the star at the very beginning of the game. I will set the position of the star, the X at the 0 position, and the Y at the 70 position. That means we need to go to the events block. When the green flag click, go to the motion block again, the star will be at this position. So the function of the star here is to score a point. So I'm gonna make whenever the ball touching the star, it will score a point by 1. That means we need to go back to the ball sprite and then we will add a variable. We will go to the variable blocks. We will make a variable. We will make a score as a new variable for all sprite, don't forget. And then click OK. And then let's set the scoring whenever the green flag click. We will use this set on the variable blocks. We will place it below the point in direction. And we will change the my variable to score. So whenever the green flag click, we will set the score to 0. And then we will make the ball scoring a point whenever it touches the star. We need to go to the control blocks. We will use another if blocks and place it right here. And then we go to the sensing block and we will choose these touching blocks and place it right here. And change the mouse pointer to star. So if touching the star, what will happen? It will change the score by 1. We need to go to the variable blocks and we will change the score by 1. We click on these blocks and place it inside the if blocks. Change the my variable to the score block. So if touching the star, the score will change by 1. Okay, let's click the green flag and see what's happened. Wow, as you can see, if the ball touching the star, it is increasing more than 1 point. That happens because the ball moved through the star. That means we need to make the ball turn the opposite direction whenever the ball touching the sprite. We need to do the same thing as this one. Okay, so the next step is to make the ball turn over whenever it touches the star. We need to go to the motion block and we will use another turn block. And we click on this one and drag it and place it inside the if touching star block. And we will go to the operators block and use this block again and do the same thing as we did before, from 170 to 180 and change the score by 1. Let's see what's happened. See, when I click the green flag, the score changed by 1 because the ball bouncing over whenever it touches the star, so it doesn't go through the star. Okay, now let's make the games more fun with a sound. I'm going to add a sound whenever the ball touching the star. That means we need to go to the sounds block, click on this one, and I will choose a sound from the library. I will choose a sound and I will choose a coin sound. I will type coin and I will use the sounds effect, the coin sounds effect. Go back to the code tape and go to the sound block, and whenever the ball touching the star, it will start sound a coin sound. And the very last steps to make the games more even challenging, you can reduce the size of the ball. We click on the size and reduce the size of the ball from 100 to 70. And so does to the star. We need to make the games more challenging by reducing some objects. Okay, we make the star size to 70. Okay, so let's play. This is the bouncing ball games. Okay students, this is how you make the bouncing ball games in Scratch. You can try it on your laptop or computers. Have fun with the Scratch. See you in the next video. Kangen and goodbye.